Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
So today's class already 9:35. Okay. So we'll study about the new chapter, that is compaction. Okay. So we'll focus on the compaction of the soil. Okay. Today's class. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now listen very carefully. So for a soil, we generally do the compaction. Okay. So you might have seen in the roads. Okay, while laying down the roads with the rollers, we do the compaction. Okay. We'll add some water to the soil and we'll do the compaction. Because of that, what happens? The density is going to increase. Okay, the density, that's our aim. Okay, so increase the density. So why compaction is required? Because for all the cases, whether you construct a building or a road, okay, so soil anyway, we have been studying the soil. Okay, we have classified the soil and clay soil. We know different soils. We know we based on their sizes, grain sizes, and their characteristic. Okay, uh, and we have studied how to find the effective stresses and so on. So compaction also one more very good topic and important topic. Okay, so why do generally we do the compaction? Okay, it is a simply a ground improvement technique. Okay, where the soil is densified through external comfort effort. I mean, suppose we have selected a site, okay, which is not which is the soil is very loose. Okay, we should not go for construction for the loose soil. What we have to do is we have to improve the ground. How we can improve? We do the compaction, okay, by using the roller, aerodynamic compaction, and so on. There are so many methods. Okay, when you go for MTech and do masters and PhD, so that time you will realize, okay, why we have to improve a soil. Okay, there are so many techniques we use. These particular ground improvement techniques for improving the soil bearing capacity or density, we call it as. Okay, so it is observed that when you add water to the soil, so all the particles come closer, and because of the compactive effort, we can compact the soil. But how much water we have to add, that is the main problem. Okay, if we add more water, then it become soft. If we add less water, it may not be compacted proper. So some optimum water we have to find out. Okay, optimum moisture content. It is called optimum moisture content. Okay, so many questions they will ask in the gate exam in this compaction. Okay, so what is the main aim of the compaction? To increase the shear strength, to reduce the permeability, we can reduce it, to reduce the compressibility, to reduce the liquefaction potential. These words may be new to you, okay, because and to control the swelling shrinkage behavior, to increase the durability and so on. Okay, so what generally we do is here we generally find out the compaction. We generally find out the uh, how much water to be needed. So first, before going to the field, we will do the test in the laboratory. Okay, so there are two terms actually: compaction and the consolidation. Consolidation is the next chapter. Okay, so this time today we'll study something about the compaction, and I will define you the consolidation also. What is consolidation is? Compaction is it is like a expulsion of water from the soil because of the dynamic effort or a compaction. We will expel whole air from the soil and we will compact the soil. What is the consolidation? In the consolidation, soil would be in a saturation condition. Okay, and it is expulsion of the water from the soil. That is called the consolidation. Understand? There's a difference between the consult. They'll ask in the interview and the exams. Okay, so what is compaction? What is consolidation? Can you define the compaction and the consolidation? The difference between both. In the compaction, as I said, it is the expulsion of air from the voids. We know that voids would be there, okay, if the soil is loose, okay. So expulsion of the air will expel the air and will make soil more dense by adding a smaller amount of water, okay. Will not make the soil full saturation, okay, nor the soil would be dry. So with some water, okay, that optimum moisture water, the soil, the grains become more sticky, and what happens because of that, a compactive effort, okay, maybe roller or a dynamic compaction, the soil become dense and it will get the maximum density, okay. So what we have to find here is, for a minimum water content or some water content, when the soil become maximum density, get the maximum dense, that particular method is called the compaction. But in the case of consolidation, what happens? The soil would be almost in a saturation state, okay, and because of the load should be long term here. We cannot apply the in the consolidation dynamic load here, okay. So long term load in the sense I have constructed a building, okay, on a saturated soil, and that after 1 year, what happens? Building will try to settle down and saturated clay I have constructed, okay. You could see so many buildings, okay, on a clay soil, okay. Bottom of that, there the soil may be in saturated state. In that case, what is happening? This building is going to settle down slowly because of the expulsion of the water from the soil. There is no air here, understand? Only water would be there because soil is in a saturated state. So that's the reason here what is happening is the volume is going to reduce, okay, slowly. It is a long term process. Consolidation is a long term, 1 2 3 4 5 years long term. So do you know that Tower of Pisa, right? So it is leaning tower, okay. Why it is leaning? Because of the consolidation, okay. One side it is leaning, that's why the people, it become a tourist spot. But what is happening below that, this is all because of consolidation of the soil. So soil is slowly settling down, okay, because of the expulsion of the water from the clay soil, okay. So there is the difference between the consolidation and the compaction. Now I'll ask you, is it possible to expel whole air from the soil? Is it possible?
No, sir.
Not possible, not at all possible. So it is theoretical say, okay. That's the reason we can reduce some air, okay, but it's not fully possible to remove the air from the soil, okay. So that's the reason the air, still we have the air, okay. So this is what it is given, compaction. What is the introduction of the compaction here in this first chapter? Then how generally we find out this compaction in the laboratory? Actually find out, we use standard Proctor test. Here what generally we use is standard Proctor test. By using this Proctor, was the scientist, okay. So we'll be having mold, that's I'll show you in the picture, okay. Where is that? Okay, so laboratory we will be having this mold, and by using this hammer, okay. So in one layer, two layer, three layer soil we will take it, okay, and each layer will apply 925 number of blows. These are procedure I'm telling you, okay. And the hammer, maybe 2.7 kg hammer, okay, drop from the 300 drop, okay, 30 centimeter, okay. So this is in a standard Proctor uh, test. There are two tests we generally do. One is standard Proctor, one is modified Proctor. Okay. First, we'll concentrate on the standard Proctor. Okay. So why we are doing this test? To find out the optimum moisture content. Okay. To obtain the compaction curve and to define the optimum moisture content. With what water content it will gain the maximum dry density. Understand? What generally we do is we take a soil, okay. So it is procedure is given how much soil we have to take, okay. Half a kg, 1 kg soil we have to take, and we have to trial and error method. We'll keep on adding the water. First I will add 10%, 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, like that. Of the weight I will keep on adding the water, and what I will do is I will make in a layer, and with the hammer I will compact. How we can find out the density? Mass by volume. Is it not? This mold volume, we know how much mass. If it is taking more soil is compacted, then density would be high. So likewise, 25 number of blows, 25 number of blows, we'll take it, okay, and 3 layers until we fill. Then what we do is we take a mass by volume. We'll give the density. The density what we are measuring is which density? If I ask you now, mass by volume. Why silence? What density it is? We are adding water to it. It is partially saturated.
A compaction.
Bulk density only, no? Is it that? Bulk density, normal density, okay, bulk density. We can find the dry density also. From how we can find out the bulk density from the dry density? How we can find out the dry density from the bulk density? What formula we use? Dry density is equal to bulk density divided by 1 plus water content. Remember? It shows you people are not studying, okay? So how we can find out these densities by using, so what I will do is I will keep on adding the water, okay, and I will try to draw a graph, okay. On the x-axis I will draw water content 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the y-axis I will plot a dry density here, okay. So maximum dry density and the here. So how we can find out maximum dry density? Bulk density we know, by water content we know, by using this one we can get it the dry density. So what I'm doing in the laboratory, I'm using a standard Proctor. I'm adding water content I know, dry density I can find out. I'm plotting a graph. So lucky what is happening is dry density is when you keep on adding water 8, 10, 12, the density is keep on increasing, and it reaches maximum. After that, what is happening is, what will happen is, when you add water, the density is reducing. Understand? So that water content we have to find out. It is the optimum moisture content, OMC. We call it as a OMC, optimum moisture content. This is the maximum. So like that, what we will do in the laboratory is we will ask you to find out the OMC and the maximum dry density of a soil in the laboratory. When you join laboratory, what we'll do? The lab technician will give a soil to you and standard Proctor apparatus to you, and what you have to do, you have to make in a 3 layers, 25 number of blows you have to apply, and you have to see the find out the OMC. Keep trial and error method, keep on adding the water, keep on adding water, okay, and then you draw a graph. It will give the maximum density and the OMC. So this particular OMC we have to use in the field to get the maximum dry density. Understand? So we know a particular soil, we know that this the optimum moisture content of a soil is this much. So in the field also, the same water content we have to apply to get the maximum density. Understand? So very interesting. And one more, whatever line you are able to see is this is the zero air void lines or 100 saturation. It is hypothetical actually. You will not get it. Okay, so density will be highest, and if you draw a line here, so this particular line is called the zero air void line. That means, is it possible to make zero air voids, or we call it as a, when it becomes zero air void, it becomes saturated. Okay, so without adding water, okay, soil would be in a saturated state. So 100% saturation and no voids actually, no air voids, or we call it as a 100% saturation line or a zero air voids. Okay, when you try to make it the graph, whatever you get it, it will be like in a line like this. But it is a hypothetical situation where you will not get it. Okay, theoretically you can say you will get this graph like this. Understand? Now I'll ask you. Okay, so what we have done is we use the standard Proctor test, and we have calculated the OMC and the maximum dry density. Okay, so here this whatever formula we have developed it, okay, this same thing we can use it. Dry density, how we can calculate G gamma W1 plus C. Here E can be written as SC by G. This formula also we know. Okay. Here S can be 1 if the degree of saturation is 1, or it can be 90%, 60%. That's what you have mentioned here, 80%. So likewise, we can find out, okay, dye densities. Now, next coming to the modified Proctor test. Here, modified Proctor test, what I'm doing is, suppose if I ask you, if I increase the compactive effort in the sense, instead of 2.7 kg, if I apply a 4.9 kg, then what will happen? How the curve will be shifted to left or right? That's my question now. Think.
So due to increase in weight, the voids will decrease.
My question is, whatever curve you have drawn, now I have a curve for the standard Proctor test. The curve which I will draw would be where it would be. It would be right side of this one, or left side, or top, or bottom.
So towards right.
Right in the sense.
Sir, it will become more dense, so it will shift towards higher density.
Right,
Right
it
in
will
the sense.
shift toward left.
Axis side, y-axis side, or x-axis side it will go.
So it will move towards y-axis.
Yeah, exactly. So what is happening here is, with a smaller water content, we are able to get this particular water content. So that's what it should give it. Okay, look at here. So this is the modified one. You will get curve like this. That means it is smaller water content. Here the water content is 12% only. Here maybe 15 or 16. Okay. So the curve will try to shift it. That means compaction depend on the effort also. How much effort you are applying, how much weight you are applying. That's the reason. Have you seen the roller weight? Very, very heavy, right? So we use as much as heavy weight to compact the soil with a lesser water content. Nowadays, have you seen the roller? Not only static roller we have, the roller will try to vibrate also. Vibrate and roll, both things are there. Vibrator and the roll. Because of that, what is happening is soil is compacting more. Okay, the density is increasing. Understand? So this particular, like that, if you draw a line here, this optimum moisture content of the standard Proctor, optimum moisture content of the modified Proctor, when you join a line, this line is called the line of optimum. This particular line is called the line of optimum. Generally, it would be almost parallel to the zero air voids line. Okay, zero air or 100% saturation line. Then what if you try to draw the compaction of a sand? Okay, a purely sand. Suppose then bulking of sand will take place. Okay, it is observed that it curve will get in this way. Okay, so in this fashion. Okay, the compaction curve is shown for this one. So mostly we'll focus on this curve only. Okay, this is normal soil. Okay, which has well graded soil, we can say, sand, clay also there, sand also there. Okay, some silt also there, everything well graded. Okay, this is can be well graded. Okay, now then I want to show something. Okay, so this is all about the compactive effort. So modified compaction is 4.5 times more effective than the standard Proctor test. Here everything is changing. Okay, mold and other drop and everything, it is changing. Okay, this is called the compaction curve. Okay, optimum moisture content, and here simply it is showing, right. So what is happening to the air and so on. Okay, so this is the line, zero air void line, means here S becomes 0. Okay, S become 1, sorry, S saturation, zero air void line. So it is showing like curve, but generally it would be as almost straight line. Okay, so likewise, so effort when you increase this, okay, lower optimum content with a smaller water content, the curve can shift in this. Now when you come to the structure of a soil, See, before compaction here, the structure would be in a flocculated way, flocculated structure you could see. But when it comes to this side, it is a dispersed structure, you will get it, right? So because we are damaging the structures here, okay. So in the left hand side of this one, you could see the clay particles and other things would be in a flacculated, arranged in a flacculated manner. We have already studied this flacculated structures, dispersed structure, honeycomb structures, okay. So left side would be flacculated. When you try to compact it after reaching maximum dye density, again we will try to add it, the structure become dispersed. That means here edge to face orientation, here all face to face orientation, okay, all face to face orientation. When you again compact effort, if you keep on increasing, okay, what we are doing is we are damaging the structure of a soil. So this is the line of optimum, okay, this is the line of optimum. Now what it is given, so this is about the sand, okay, uh, which contains a least, okay, percentage of the cohesive soil, and when you try to add water and try to do it, you will get this kind of the dye density decreases due to the capillary tension in the pore water, okay. The capillary tension resists the tendency of a soil particle to take a dense state, hence the volume increases, okay. The phenomena is also known as bulking of sand, okay. The maximum bulking occurs at a water content of about 4 to 5%. So likewise we can keep on doing some test and we can find out the optimum moisture content where in the laboratory I'm talking, okay, in the laboratory. Once we get in the laboratory, we can apply in the field also, same thing we can apply. So that's what it is given. And then what are the tests, how we can, now here one more important this one, okay. What are the factors affecting the compaction? If I ask you, can you name some factors which affect the compaction? One is water content. Second one is amount of compaction. Okay. Third, type of soil also matters. Method of compaction also matters. Is it not? Type of soil. So this is one more curve, very interesting. Okay. When you try to draw a compaction curve, dry density in the y-axis and the x-axis water content. So well-graded sand, you will get it here. Well-graded soil or sand, one. This is low plasticity silt. This is low plasticity clay. So anyway, clay it is very difficult. It is very difficult to get high density. Okay, so high plasticity clay. So the curve will follow in this way. But whatever may be soil, we have to test in the laboratory, and then only we have to recommend the optimum moisture content. Okay, so this is what the soil structure, as I told here, the flocculated, and this one is the dispersed structure. After compaction, okay, the structure become because of the high compactive effort curve, okay. So that's what it is given. Very simple topic. This one, a chapter, you can, one reading is enough to, you can understand, okay. So stress strain curve also we can draw, okay, what it is given here. Effect of compaction on properties of the soil, okay. Soil structure will changes. Permeability, what happens to permeability? Quickly reduce or increases? Permeability because of the compaction reduces, I say. What happens to swelling? Swelling also reduces, okay. What happens to pore water pressure? A sample compacted dry optimum has the low water content. So what happens to shrinkage? So what happens to compressibility reduces? Okay, how is the stress strain curve? It will shift to the left side. It will give the more Young's modulus or soil modulus. Okay, what happens to shear strength? Increases. Okay, so these are the basic things only. What we are doing is we are compacting the soil. Because of that, shear strength increases, compressibility reduces, and the permeability reduces. Permeability, what is the definition of permeability? It is the property of a soil which allows water from it flow through it, okay. So which soil will have more permeable? Sandy soil will have more permeability compared to the clay soil, and we have studied what is the how we can find out the permeability in the field and in the laboratory. What are those methods? Constant head method, a variable head method. Where generally we use this constant head method? Which soil it is? Everything should be perfect, okay, should be there in your mind, okay, otherwise you cannot learn the subject, okay. If you read one day before exam, or you browse from the Google and you just get the 19 marks, that is of no use, okay. You should learn the subject properly. So what is permeability? You have to in depth, you have to study, then only you can clear any exams. Otherwise you are fit for just getting the grades and getting some software jobs. And okay, and if you are okay with that, no problem, okay, later on you will realize, okay. So method of compaction in the field. Now what I'll do is what are the methods we do in the field, okay. I have added in the PPT. So there are so many methods we generally do in the field, okay. So we use roller. Is it visible? Roller is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we use roller for a compaction. As I said, right, the here what is happening in the roller, there is a 100% coverage would be there under the wheel. Okay, 100% coverage you could see. So contact pressure is up to 380 kPa. So nowadays, as I said, you could find the roller. What do you say? Roller plus vibrator roller. Okay, it will try to vibrate and both compact also. So these are the things generally we use in the field. Okay, so how we can do the compaction, and there are so many other methods. Okay. So there are so many methods by using these methods like roller. Anyway, I'll discuss you, okay, next class. So this time I'm checking what is given in the your book, okay, method of compaction, okay. Then what we'll do is we'll find out this particular relative compaction. That means what is the relative compaction? 90% whether we got it, or 80%. How we can find out this relative compaction? The density in the field we can find out, the density in the laboratory, whatever we have achieved it. It is not necessary that whatever we have laboratory, same thing we may achieve it, okay, because the conditions are different there, okay. We may not apply the exact load, but we can at least maintain the water content, and we can find out the density there. How we can find out the field density generally? If I ask you, I have a road, I have compacted, I want to find out the field density there. What are the methods we use? Which method we use to find the field density? Please speak out.
Sir, core cutter method.
Okay, very good. One more method.
So field density method.
Yeah, which one? That is core cutter method is okay. We will insert a core hollow what do you say, equipment, what do you say, hollow cylinder, and we can get it mass by volume. One more method.
Sir, buoyancy method.
Okay. Sand replacement method. Can we use sand replacement method? We can use sand replacement method also, core cutter sand. So see, thing is, I don't know why you are taking so much time, which shows that you people are not reading it. Okay, neither you are reading it nor. So don't expect in the assessment to same MCQ you will copy from the Google. Okay, so I am also smart. Okay, and let us see how we will get in the 18, 19. That's my goal this time. Um, Paper would be little very tough, not necessarily MCQ. It can be fill in the blanks or problematic. Anything I'll give you. Okay, because since it's an open book, I have to make little tough questions. Okay, so that's the reason. Unless you prepare well, I don't think you will score this time. So what you have to do is to prepare well. Okay, read and read. Okay, that's the only way, because I'm doing my best because of this online teaching. Otherwise, it would be difficult. But it is a very simple subject. One reading is more than enough. I'm giving uh, all information to you. Okay, what to read, what to not read, and what is required. So now, so this today what we have seen is the difference between the compaction and the consolidation. Why we will do compaction? Compaction generally in the field we do the compaction for constructing constructing the roads or a dam, earthen dam, or a embankment where we lay down our railway track and so on. Okay, buildings everywhere, flywoods, wherever you want to construct a. So we generally take the soil from somewhere if it is not available, and we dump the soil. We'll try to compact it. We try to add water, and we with the roller we'll do it. And the same thing we can do it in the laboratory also by using the standard Proctor compaction and the modified. Okay. So I'm so what is the main aim is to find the optimum moisture content and the maximum dry density. Okay. So we have seen that it depends on the compaction. It depends on the what type of the soil. Definitely, different soil will have different compaction. Optimum moisture content and dry density will achieve, and it depends on the compacting effort also. Type of the loading also it will affect. Water content also it affect, because when you keep on adding water, somewhere it is increasing, then reducing. Okay, and from that, and we have seen that very important the zero air void lines. Okay, when you plot it, so those things they will ask in the competitive exams. Okay, zero air void line means what? It is 100% saturated line because of expulsion of the air from the soil. Here we are not at all talking about the expulsion of the water or nothing. With the same water content, we are applying a load. Okay, load, and we are reducing the air content. Okay, and so if you further reduces, okay, air content, uh, to we can make it as zero. Okay, but it's not possible. So when you make it as zero, suppose, okay, without adding the water, making the soil saturated state, that particular line is called the air zero air lines. Understand? So likewise, we can draw the graph, optimum moisture content, maximum dry density, and in the laboratory we can find out. In the field also same thing we can apply it. Okay, so different soil will have different dry densities and so on. So when you come to the laboratory, you can do this compaction test. Okay, so with that I'll stop today. Maybe next class what I'll do is because I want to spend two classes for this compaction. Okay, so field density generally, what are the methods we can compact the soil actually in the field, okay, that we'll see. Laboratory anyway we have seen it. Okay, relative compaction, how you can find out. These are the simple thing you can read it. So these are the things it is given, the laboratory vibratory methods. Some methods is at the bottom it is given to find out it. Okay, and there are some, see, there are some, again some problems are given. Okay, so these are the very simple problems. Once you know volume of void, something they will give. Okay, once your formulas are okay, your basics are okay, you can find out. Okay, here a table column also given, water content given, mass of wet soil is given. Okay, and what it is asked to find out the uh, plot the graph. Okay, what it is given here, the following results for obtain water content, mass of a wet soil. Okay, is given, the volume of mass by volume will give the density. Okay, bulk density. Make the necessary calculation plot. What we will get it here, water content given, uh, here weight also given. Weight means whatever weight you will get it. Okay, after 25 number of blows for 3 layers, then we'll take a weight. Mass by volume will give bulk density it will, or bulk unit weight you call it. These are all bulk unit weight. Okay. Then how you can find out the dry density? Bulk divided by 1 plus water content will give the dry density. So this particular graph is we will try to draw between the maximum dry density, dry density to the water content. Okay. Then wide ratios we can find out if you want find out wide ratios. Degree of saturation also we can find out, okay, by using these formulas. Then theoretical maximum dry density we can find out, okay. Then what you have to do is dry density in the left side and the water dry density means this one, okay, and water content on the right side. When you try to plot it somewhere it will come like this, and this water content is called the optimum moisture content. This is the maximum dry density, can be 1.774 or something like that. Here how much it is coming? Water content OMC, how much they are getting? 15% they will get it. 1.74, 15%. Understand? So likewise, it's a very simple. I see 2-3 problems are given only. Okay, very, and you can go through the objectives type questions here. So with that, I'll stop today. Then we'll spend one more day on this compaction. Okay, so that hope you are following, and I'm sure that just I'm downloading the attendance. Okay, so with